Kart Racers 3. Okay. Alright. So as you can see, I changed up the games from last time I was on Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. And I'm all done with the game. So I got all the trophies. It's a platinum. So now I moved on and bought this game because it was on sale. And I know most people might think this one is the inferior version of the game, but it has a good intro music. And each character has their own unique specials, regardless of who you choose to play. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this game, outside of just the intro music. The characters' unique specials. Like Angelica has cookies that give her a booster. Well, 3 different boosters, a speed boost, and Leonardo with his shurikens, and so much more. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about my most wanted DLC characters. This song is catchy. And tracks wish list. So let's open up some of the tracks. We're going to get to them soon. But first, let's see. Let's pick anything. Let's pick just anything. So I wanted to open up the character roster. That's what I wanted to. So everybody can see all the characters in this game. This character roster is lacking. It's only 4 shows represented: SpongeBob, Rugrats, Hey Arnold, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's just very little shows. So I'm just very surprised, but it's still a fun game. I'm enjoying it for what it is. So I'm gonna be playing more of that today. But I'm gonna first start with my most wanted characters. 25 characters that I came up with and selected from my list. Not saying all of them are gonna probably get in, because anything can happen. Some of these characters might end up getting replaced, or maybe some of them might not even be actual drivers and playable racers. So just like I mentioned from my other video when it first got announced, I wanted some of those chiefs to become playable racers, like Plankton. I put him in my list, for example. But I'm gonna run through the characters from my top 25 list, and then I'm gonna talk about the tracks. I'm gonna switch over to the tracks in this game just to show them whether or not you guys played this game for the first kart racers. But just to start, Timmy Turner for sure is my top most wanted character, and he shouldn't come out solo. Just like I always say, even for games like Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, he should come out with Cosmo and Wanda to be able to help him out during the track. And I'm not sure how they're going to really implement the abilities of these characters. Are they going to have specials? It's so much other stuff that's missing we don't know about. So we'll just have to wait till gameplay gets revealed at some point. But Timmy Turner and Cosmo and Wanda definitely deserve to be all together for one individual racer. I would not separate Cosmo and have him as a playable racer, and Wanda as an individual racer. Similar to how they did Ren and Stimpy, they separated them and split them up and made them separate characters in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. See what I'm saying? So hopefully they don't do that. So I want Timmy Turner with his fairy godparents. El Tigre, I'm just gonna speed through the list so it's not too long. El Tigre, just characters that haven't really been into the game. We didn't really see them as chiefs, engineers, or playable racers. Just that's what I was really aiming for this the majority of this list. Rudy Tabootie and Snap for the Chalk Zone. Let's get some Chalk Zone reps in the game. And one of the chiefs that was already just one of the characters in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, Plankton with Karen, deserved to be as a duo sort of playable racer. Genie Wakeman for My Life as a Teenage Robot, or XJ9 in other words. The Angry Beavers can be together with Daggett and Norbert, or maybe they can separate them similar to how they did with Ren and Stimpy. They can make them separate playable racers if they want to, but they definitely should be a duo. Zuko, since he was a chief just like Plankton, he needs to be a playable character. Notice how we didn't have anybody from Jimmy Neutron. I put Jimmy Neutron and Sydney Vortex for something a little bit different. And then I additionally added Sheen. So just 3 different Jimmy Neutron reps to go with the roster to represent the show. They can get Hugh Neutron if they want. Carl, Ultra Lord. Just they have so many characters from Jimmy Neutron that can get into the game, and just to beef up the roster, because we don't have. They put all 4 of the turtles in the game, so maybe they can do something like that with the trio with Jimmy, Carl, and Sheen to be in the game. But I put Cindy Vortex in. Jimmy Neutron, Cindy Vortex, Sheen, and then I went back in time for Nick Jr. to be playable characters. Dora the Explorer and Swiper the Fox. They could have their own little voice lines. And since they have, this game is gonna have voice lines. When you hit like a booster, Dora could be like "Vámonos," which is Spanish for "Let's go." See what I'm saying? So that's really fitting for her character, her voice line to reference the show. "Vámonos." Since they're gonna have voice lines, she could say something like that, and then Swiper could say, "You're too late." Maybe when he wins the race and comes in first place, "You're too late." He always usually says that when he swipes when he steals or swipes an item successfully from Dora. And they can have unique interactions. Dora and Swiper no swiping. When she passes Swiper in the placement, Swiper no swiping. See how they can really evolve that? I hope they have unique interactions for these characters. I'm not sure if they're gonna do something like that. Games like Multiverses, they already do that with different special lines, but I would like to see Kart Racers do something similar to that when they run into certain characters that they know and they recently had an encounter with and have a pass with. But just to go forward for the list, Rocket Power. Anybody watch Rocket Power? Most people don't really bring up Rocket Power anyway. Some people dislike it. I loved it. Just all the different stunts and different adventures that they would get into in trying to film. I put Otto Rocket, or just anybody from the Rocket Powers group, with Reggie, Sam, or Squid. That was his little nickname they gave him. And then Twister. They can get them in the game. I put Tack and the Power of Juju. So, well, I put Tack in here. Kappa Mikey. I really started watching the show. It's a really good show. Something else that also blew my mind is that they didn't have anybody from Wild Thornberries. No Wild Thornberries rep. Eliza, I put her in my most wanted list. Eliza Thornberry. Going back to Fairly Odd Parents. Mr. Crocker to get some villains, additional villains. Danny Phantom's Johnny 13 with Shadow to cause some chaos on the field. And if you watch Danny Phantom and remember Johnny 13, he will always call upon Shadow. He would say Shadow. Whenever he needs something, he will call Shadow to handle any sort of problem that he has. That could be one of his specials. Shadow can also be a unique item, a special item exclusively to Johnny 13, who is one of the villains from Danny Phantom's world, if you guys remember. And Johnny 13 riding his bike or his chopper, he can be riding that in Nickelodeon Kart Racers. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. They just have all these different unique options, interactions in these cars that they can have. Johnny 13 can have his own chopper or his bike or motorcycle in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3. So I put him in it. Pretty cool character, nice little villain, and Shadow being able to cause some ruckus on the field, on the tracks. He's gonna be some trouble. So gotta watch out for Johnny 13. I hope they get him in. And then Vlad Plasmius, some other villains. Even though Danny Phantom was already in these games, except this one of course. But Vlad Plasmius, take him out of the chief engineer, not a chief, but just one of the engineer support characters, make him a playable character. Spectra, another villain that I like from Danny Phantom. And then T.U.F.F Puppy. Let's get a T.U.F.F Puppy rep. Kitty Caswell or Deadly Puppy, one of them, or maybe why not both of them? So I just put T.U.F.F Puppy to represent the show. Real monsters. Real monsters could be in Ablina, Crumb, Ickis. So I don't know what you guys think about that show. It's an old school show. I played this game on the Sega Genesis. That's how I first found out about Real Monsters. Then I ended up watching the show. Just to wrap up, Mighty B, Bessie Hickenbottom. I put her in my list. And then just a stretch or a reach or a cap. I put Goku for the last character for my top 25 list because he was part of Nickelodeon during Dragon Ball Z Kai. I watched the original show on Cartoon Network. How awesome would it be for them to get their hands on Goku to get him in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3? So hopefully he doesn't get snagged in any other game. They can really get some fans into this game. For anime fans, at least, and Dragon Ball Z fans, Goku is going to be a playable character and as DLC. And I already have an idea for a potential track. I didn't put it in my my tracks wish list because I'm not sure if they can really get access to Goku because it's going to be super tough to get him. But we're going to go back to the tracks. See, you can see some of the tracks here. So go free race. But just to wrap up about Goku, I can already imagine an awesome track to go with him. If you guys watch Dragon Ball Z, see when he was on his way, he was traveling a long way on Snake Way. Come out with Goku, and then you drop the track Snake Way, and you driving on the Snake Way from Dragon Ball Z. That's awesome. Up in the clouds, Snake Way, and you fall off, and you can fall off into the clouds as a little bit of a it could be a tricky track, but you want to be able to stay in line and just be able to watch out from other racers to be able to keep your momentum. Snake Way would be awesome. And just thinking about it, so I would like to see something like that. But in fact, since I just brought it up right off the bat because I just love Dragon Ball Z and watched all the episodes. I'm gonna put it in my track wish list and add on to it right on the fly. See what I'm saying? So Snake Way would be awesome to see if they can get access to Goku. But take a look at these tracks. Hillwood. I don't remember all these tracks that I've just been playing, getting used to. See, Go Universe, SpongeBob. This is in part 2. It's just different. Glubby Gloves. They got 2 different versions of the maps. Sewer Madness, Dimension X, Slime to Party. I like the names of these, so y'all can see the tracks in the game. He looks scary, so I'm gonna just keep him up. But let's start talking about my tracks. I only have a couple listed, and you can name your tracks if you want to in the video comments if you guys want to. But Fairy World, as you could probably see from the background from this video, that's my top most wanted track from Fairly Odd Parents. They come out with Timmy Turner. Let's head to Fairy World and we can ride around in that world. Trey Morgan, they got this stage in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. They can get it in Kart Racers 3 to be able to be associated with Jenny Wakeman. So we could ride around the city of Trey Morton. Wild Waterfall from Wild Thornberries to represent the Wild Thornberries location or the setting. Something I want to bring up, I put in Fire Nation Capital, which is the location of the Fire Nation from Avatar from the Last Airbender. Avatar the Last Airbender. They had a track in Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 called, they had the Spirit World from Legend of Korra, but from the Avatar, they only had the water track track represented in the second game. You didn't even have a Fire Nation track. So that's why I put in a Fire Nation Capital, so they can have pits of fire in the background as a little idea to represent the Avatar the Last Airbender, to come out with Zuko, Azula, or anybody from the Fire Nation that can come out. Ozai and many others. What's his name? Eero. They can have all those characters. They got a lot of characters they can put into this game. So I put it in the Fire Nation Capital. Why not have something like that? I mean, they got it in like Mario Kart with the Pits of Fire or Bowser's Castle and many other tracks when you play with hazardous conditions and whatnot. Bursts of flame can, mess you up and cause you to crash and burn, spin you out of control, and you lose momentum. So that'll really be unique. The Fire Nation riding around in that location, and then some additional ones. Chalk Zone. Who's got the chalk? If you're coming out with Rudy or Snap riding around in the world in the chalkboard world, in a whole completely different dimension of the chart zone with all those created characters that were drawn on the board and that have come to life. That'll be amazing to see. I put chart zone in my list, and then I got 2 more stages or 2 more tracks. See how they have the sponsor? They don't have, let's go just run through it real quick. You got Bikini Bottom Boogie Nights. That's just the night cycle of it. And then you got the day cycle, bringing it around town. And then you got the Glove Universe and all that. Since Bikini Bottom Boating. See how see how some of the tracks look the same? You're in the Bikini Bottom, but you don't have a track for the Rock Bottom. See what I'm saying? The Rock Bottom is scary. Why not have that as a playable track? The spooky Rock Bottom where no one, hardly anyone goes to. Let's go down to the Rock Bottom to be able to ride around in these tracks for fun. It'll be amazing to see. So I put Rock Bottom for SpongeBob SquarePants. I love that episode. And then just hearing that, just something like that, just his language he couldn't even understand. He just didn't know what it was or who it was. He was just trying to catch the bus. They can have him in the background too. Just some other spooky creatures from the Rock Bottom in the track. So that'd be really cool. And you could hear him make that noise while you're playing right past him. And he's holding that balloon. And just last but not least, if y'all get it, I hope they get somebody from Jimmy Neutron. Why not add Retroville to represent Jimmy Neutron's world? Let's get the Retroville and we can ride around the town. So it'll be really cool to see that. So those are just some of my tracks. Everything I mentioned from the characters and more. I'm not sure if the music's too loud. I guess I'll check when I before I get ready to upload this. But those are all the tracks. Those are everything. Those are all the characters. All the characters and tracks that I mentioned are in the description for y'all to check out. And you guys can have your list of tracks as well. No one else is really talking about this game, so I'm excited to play it. So I thought I'd come up with some different ideas. Most wanted characters and then some tracks that I want to see in the game. But maybe I can do some items that I want to see in the game. Maybe some of the abilities for these characters and more. And I think my next one, I'll probably talk about maybe a potential story or an arcade mode that I would like to see them implement. So it plays, you're unlocking these characters and more. So some of the game modes that they can probably, new game modes to be able to be implemented in the game so everybody can play different things and have different activities, because this game doesn't really have many modes. This doesn't even have an online. So this only has local couch co-op or couch multiplayer. I'm guessing it must be split screen, but still a cool game. National intro music and more. And I think they can really make Nickelodeon Kart Racers 3 one of the best racing games for this new generation. And then it's going to be part of the new gen, PS5 and new gen consoles and more. They can definitely make this game really good with all these Nickelodeon shows, from old to new, all the way to the modern day, for the present day, with characters like Big Nate. I don't even know who that is, but they've been boosting these shows, Big Nate and some other shows that you guys mentioned that are completely new, even additional Loud House characters to be included to beef up the roster. But let me know what you guys think of my list for the most wanted. Who's some of your most wanted characters? Or you can name one. You can name however many characters and tracks that you want, and even some other features that you're looking for in Kart Racers 3.